Well, first of all, I think that LSI and the conference that Scott Pantel and the team puts on is one of the best in the industry. So it's extremely humbling to get the opportunity to come and talk to you today about a topic that I'm extremely passionate about. And they just talked about as we continue with digital growth and optimization, and that made me think before I came on about how important attracting the right talent is to the growing companies. So first of all, my belief is that people are the number one asset of any company. So if you don't believe in that premise, then probably not much of what else I have to say will probably be of value to you. But if you do agree that people are the number one asset of your company, then having a strategy that attracts talent that's going to fit your culture, create a process of efficiency, and retain that top talent are critical subsets. So why would you not then tie your TA process into your quality management system and measure outcomes so you can create real best practices? The cost of a mishire is enormous, particularly when you consider opportunity cost as well as wasted training. So what I'd like for you to do is take a look at these paintings and consider which paintings you appreciate and which ones that you don't. So we have the Seventh Plague of Egypt, which is romantic art. We have a Monet Impressionism painting in the center, and then a Pollock painting, which is abstract Impressionism. They're all considered masterpieces. Personally, I like one quite a bit. One, I can take it or leave it, and one I don't really care for much at all. So I'm not here to tell you what strategy or combination of strategies that you should pick for your company. You have to pick a strategy that works for you. My hope is that this presentation will help you to think more proactively about the strategies that are available to you, that you will tie in your mission statement and your why. You'll tie in your TA process to your quality management system, and you'll create the best processes to attract talent, optimize efficiency, and create an environment and a culture of high retention. However, not picking a strategy is a strategy, just like not planning is planning to fail. Our SSI mission statement is to help candidates with relevant career advancement opportunities while helping build companies that bring positive products to patient populations, and then supporting the charities that matter to us. At SSI, our mission statement is on every stakeholder's desk, and it's really a big part of who we are. It's the original mission statement that I started in my home office back in 2015. In Mark Murphy's Hire for Attitude, he talks about a story of a CEO at an offsite meeting, and he offers up $1,000 to any of the 100 managers at the meeting that can actually share the company's mission statement. Not one person could do it. If you want to attract talent that is going to be a fit to your culture, then your mission statement can't be lip service. How do you expect your people to execute and meet expectations if they don't even understand exactly why they're doing it? I believe that leadership is so extremely vital, and certainly it's not easy. Extreme Ownership is one of our preferred books in our library at SSI. And it's really our playbook for leadership and accountability to create efficiency and a culture that focuses on the attributes that we want, that brings solutions to our partners, and is more about problem solving versus finger pointing. So, our employee value proposition is that I have a keen curiosity and interest in other people with a passion for bringing positive products to patient populations. So that certainly ties into our mission statement. While I certainly want to be successful, I'm more interested in being a part of a unique team that is bringing value to others. So our mission statement, vision statement, and our EVP are visible throughout our office. It's something that I strive to really bring on a regular basis, that we talk about and focus. And anybody that we interview, after we understand what they're interested in and their experience, The next thing that they learn are the key attributes that we're looking for that will fit the SSI culture. Mark Murphy of Leadership IQ's book, Hire for Attitude, I think it's a great sort of best practices for creating your interview process and questions, but it really resonated with me. And one of the key data points that Leadership IQ showed was that for failed hires, that technical aptitude only accounted for 11%. Think about that. The other reasons were low emotional intelligence, poor motivation, poor temperament, and not being very coachable. I mean, wow, think about that. How important is it that you find the right talent that's going to fit the culture that you want and that has the right attitude? You can hire somebody that's absolutely incredible in every category, and if they don't fit your culture, it's probably not going to work very well. In terms of the characteristics that we are most interested in looking for, I'll highlight a couple, but certainly integrity is paramount. Secondly, I look for and want people that have resiliency and that they're open to change. We have changed so much in 8 years, 3 office moves, and half of the team hasn't even been at SSI a year. We need team players that look out for others, and they look for opportunities to partner with candidates, our partner companies, as well as their peers. And the fourth, they certainly need to be coachable and have an interest in growth. So I don't know if Pantel's in here or not, probably not, but I'm not gonna offer any of you $1,000 if you can share your mission statement with me. I hope you can share it, but maybe if you can shoot a hole in what I'm about to share with you next, you can get Pantel to give you $1,000 off your next conference. So maybe meet him at the bar later. But who in here has had a friend, a colleague, or a top player come to them and say, hey, you know any companies with a poor culture that people really don't want to work at? I'd be interested in a position where I don't really grow. I'm not really interested in change. And heck, they can pay me below the market if you'd like. I've never had anybody, well, except for my mother, who regularly comes to me and asks me to give her a $100,000 salary to work 4 hours a day with an hour-and-a-half lunch. But other than that, I've never heard that. In my experience, especially as you go up the ladder of leadership and responsibility, the first question is, hey, tell me about the culture. Tell me about the vision of the leadership. What's the complexity of the product? How's it going to benefit patients? Is it in a growing area? And look, I know I'm going to work hard, but am I going to enjoy the people that I'm in the trenches with? With key considerations, what I'd first like to consider is really how you look at talent and talent evaluation relevant to emerging markets. Secondly, consider cultural characteristics that you want to attract first. Follow that up with a minimal technical expectation of skills and specificity of experience. Third, and this is really one of the bigger elephants in the room, there's certainly not a right answer, but autonomy and strategies for autonomy. Fourth, how you manage growth and you share your vision of that growth with the people that you're trying to attract. And lastly, that you tie in your talent access process to your quality management system. Then you have to understand the market, you have to do the appropriate research or partner with somebody that has a clear understanding of the market. Okay, quick example relevant to emerging markets and talent. This past year, we had a company that we partnered with, and I was really excited about it because it was a unique technology and value prop, and we successfully helped them bring on a senior leader to the company. However, during the interview process, the interviewers really did not necessarily do a great job of interviewing all the candidates. There were certain interviewers that really didn't try to attract the talent, which I think is a big mistake. And lastly, there were a couple for the person that accepted the offer that actually challenged the person on whether or not in their functional area had actual experience with their product or their technology, which was interesting because the product had gotten breakthrough designation, technology status, just a few years previously. So, After the final on-site interviews, and I got the opportunity to debrief with this talented candidate, her position was, what are you talking about? I mean, none of you have actually worked on this technology before you came to this company. Every single one of us are examples of crossover talent. What I'd like for you to do is think about this slide and how you consider being open to talent. Are you open to crossover skills? Are you open to talent that's ready for the next step in their career? Are you willing to consider strategies for autonomy? Or are you simply going to overpay? Or is your value prop and your leadership just so incredibly strong that people are going to cross the street, get in the back of the line for the same amount of money? What I'd like to do now is share an industry example as a benchmark. So the IVD medical device industry was a $60 billion niche in 2016, growing at an 8 to 9% CAGR. It went over $70 billion this past year and is projected to go over $93 billion by 2028. So in 2019, a top 25 global IVD medical device company came to us because they were having a real challenge with 4 different positions that had been open for about 6 months. So after sitting with them and discussing their expectations and their needs, there were several challenges. Number one, below a manager level, they did not have a bonus, which was not relevant to the market. Secondly, their expectation and culture was to have somebody, every single area of every position had to be on site 5 days a week. And they had competitors in the market that in these particular functions allowed for a couple days remote a week. And then lastly, they wanted very specific experience. These were regulatory positions with the 510K. It had to be with an IVD medical device product. So after explaining to them the challenges of the market, we talked about strategies relevant to the talent war and being open to, crossover talent. So while they weren't open to a lot, they did give us the opportunity to go out and try to attract talent that had successful 510K experience in a different product category and met the rest of the requirements. So after that, in about a 6 to 8 week period, we were able to successfully partner with them and help fill all 4 of those positions by going out and attracting talent that had successful 510K submission experience and backgrounds in biochemistry, biomedical engineering, and they were excited about the opportunity to use their skills in a different product category and how that particular niche might benefit their career. Of those 4 candidates, 3 of them are still there now and have been great hires for them. The 4th one was there for a year and a half, and then recruiters got recruited away for their first management position.